divine understanding, where wisdom meets peace. The origin of Africans according to the Bible.
Today, we will explore the history of African peoples according to the Bible, one of the largest ethnic groups in the world with rich documentation in the sacred scriptures. Surprisingly, the Bible shows us about the origins of the African people, highlighting kings and queens. In this video, I invite you to discover fascinating curiosities and facts about the biblical ancestors of Black and African peoples. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like and comment. According to the sacred scriptures, all current people are descendants of Noah's 3 sons: Sem, Cam, Japheth. This also applies to Black people and other ethnic groups with dark skin. The Hamite lineage originates from Ham, one of Noah's sons. Ham is the brother of Shem and Japheth, who actively represents the Semitic peoples, Arab, Jews, Syrians, and other European and Asian peoples. The term Hamites originally referred to people descended from Ham, one of Noah's sons. The Bible, according to the book of Genesis, reports that after the flood, Noah and his 3 sons were tasked with continuing the lineage of Adam and his father's descendants, counting only 8 people: Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and his 3 daughters-in-law. Humanity needed to start over. Cam, son of Noah, is recognized as the ancestor of African and Black people in the Bible. His name is always associated with Africa. In fact, the Book of Psalms places him as an ancestor of the ancient Egyptians. It is interesting to note that in antiquity rabbinic traditions, ancient tales of the Jewish people, and other ancient traditions always identified him as the ancestor of the African peoples. All interpretations of the sons of Ham point to African countries and regions of Africa and to African peoples. It is curious that the name Ham in Hebrew, Aramaic, and other ancient languages means burnt or dark in reference to the skin tone of his descendants. In chapter 10 of the book of Genesis, between verses 6 and 14, it is possible to obtain more information about the lineage of Ham, also known as the Hamite people. The text presents Ham's descendants as Cush, father of several African peoples, and Mizraim, father of the ancient Egyptians. It is important to mention that Syrian Jewish Arabs and other peoples refer to Egypt as Mizraim in reference to their founder. Other sons of Ham are also mentioned as Put and Canaan, who is the father of the Canaanites, not of the Africans. It is essential to understand that Canaan represents a distinct region and people. The sons of Cush include Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, Sabtika, and the powerful Nimrod. At the beginning of his reign, Babel, among other cities, was part of his domain. Nimrod, who was an ancestor of the people of ancient Babylon, the Sumerians left for Assyria, where he founded 2 or 3 cities. According to the biblical account, Mizraim was the father of Ludim, Anamim, Libim, Naphtuim, Patrusim, Caslim, ancestor of the Philistines, and Caphtorim. Cush, the firstborn son of Ham, gave rise to many nations and peoples, including the Ethiopians, as well as the people of Nubia, also known in antiquity as the Kingdom of Cush. These main nations and peoples were descendants of Cush, son of Ham. Nimrod, the rebellious son of Cush, is considered the progenitor of the people. According to the Bible, Nimrod's reign included the following cities in the land of Shinar, Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh. It was probably under his command that the construction of Babel and its tower began. It was probably under his command that the construction of Babel and its tower began. The term Cush is often related to Ethiopia, Sudan, and Africa in the Bible, and its literal meaning is black. Cush, in Hebrew Cush, probably means black. In some versions of the Bible, the name is translated as Cuz, Kuch, or Cush. Mizraim would have been the common patriarch of ancient Egyptian tribes, and his name became synonymous with Egypt. It is fascinating to observe that all Semitic peoples, such as the Arab Arameans and Israelites, were transmitted to Egypt with a designation used in several ancient languages, such as Arabic, Aramaic, and Hebrew. In the book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 51, God mortally wounded every firstborn in Egypt, the first fruits in the strength in the tents of Ham. Furthermore, Ham also had a son named Put. An interesting curiosity is that the name Put or Phut originates from the word that means point of reference and is an allusion to the tribal hunters in Africa and is considered the father of the Libyos, black people native to Libya, as well as several other African peoples. Now about Noah's famous curse on Canaan, son of Ham, many people in ancient times misinterpreted. The curse Ham and Canaan are described in the book of Genesis chapter 9. The text says that after Noah got drunk, his son Ham did not help him, and instead told the other brothers that his father was naked and drunk to mock him. Noah says, "Cursed be Canaan, let him be the lowest slave of his brothers." Genesis 9 verse 25. However, there is more than one interpretation for this text, but that is not the focus of this video. Noah placed a curse on one of Ham's sons, specifically on Canaan. It seems like a huge exaggeration on Noah's part, but at that time respect for one's father was almost sacred, even though Noah was apparently wrong to get drunk. Thus, interpretations of these texts suggest that Noah should not have acted like this or accidentally. When cultivating grapes, he performed an act never done before, thus discovering the wine without realizing it, which is why God did not punish him. It is worth mentioning that Ham and his other three sons, Cush, Mizraim, and Put, have origins in African peoples. It is important to emphasize that black people were not cursed, but Canaan, the father of the Canaanites, who inhabited the Middle East, was the one who received Noah's curse, not the African people. This crucial explanation that interpreted the biblical text as if the African people were cursed is a serious error and a false interpretation. The curse falls on Canaan, the ancestor of the Canaanite people. We know that Ham is the ancestor of all African people. He lived a very long life, being born before the flood. He enjoyed greater longevity and was able to witness up to the 5th and 6th generation of his family. Although there is no precise confirmation of how many years he lived, as the biblical texts do not mention it, it is assumed that he reached the 600-year mark, like his brothers. And it is not known for sure where Ham's tomb is located, but according to some theories and studies, it could be in the Ethiopian region or even in Nubia. Others claim that he is buried in Mesopotamia in the land of the Sumerians. However, many agree that Ham's tomb is in Africa, more precisely in Sudan or Ethiopia. I even suggest that he could be buried in Egypt, which is quite intriguing and interesting since Egypt is a country full of mysteries, and bodies of people buried 3,000 or 4,000 years ago are constantly being discovered. The Book of Jubilees offers us more information about Ham's old age and about events that occurred in Noah's family. The African presence in the scriptures reminds us that we are all equal before God, valued and loved by Him, without distinction of color, ethnicity, or origin. Thank you to everyone who has watched so far. Leave your like. Don't forget to subscribe. And may God bless your life. Immensely folded hands light skin tone.